Well, hello everyone, and welcome once again to this spoken English course on succeeding. Here we believe that English is for everyone. We have followed our Hindi to English translation method in our first two videos, subject and its forms, and subject and verb. Today is day 3 of this free online course, and we will look at position of words in sentences. This can also be called an exercise on word order. Once again, whether you are a beginner or an advanced learner, this video has something for everyone. So in Hindi, a typical sentence will look something like this. निशा किताब पढ़ती है. Nisha is the subject. Then we have the object, which is kitab. And finally, we have the verb. So Hindi follows a subject, object, and verb pattern. We know what a subject is, and just to give you a little more clarity, object is something which is acted upon by the subject. In the above sentence, kitab is acted upon by Nisha, thus it is the object. There are two types of verb. We have the main verb, which is the action in the sentence. In the above sentence, Nisha kitab padhti hai, the action is that of padhna or reading. Thus, the main verb in the sentence is padhna. We also have the helping verb, which helps to make the sentence grammatically correct. In the above sentence, hai is the helping verb. It tells us about the time which is being referred to in the sentence, whether it is past or present. It also tells us about the number of the subject, whether it is singular or plural. In English, the translation of the sentence number 1 given above would be Usha or Nisha reads a book. I think there is a misspelling there, but Usha or Nisha, whatever. Usha, in this case, reads a book. And Nisha reads a book. So we will follow a subject, verb, and object pattern in order to translate the above sentence. And that is the pattern which we follow in English. Subject, verb, object. And before we move any further in this video, let's learn a little more about verb to be. So the forms of verb to be in English are be, been, am, is, are, was, were. They are used depending on the number and person of the subject and the tense of the verb. So for example, this book is inspirational. So what I mean by number and person is that we know that book, first of all, is singular. So we have used a singular verb is with it. And book is also a third person singular number, noun. And thus we have used the singular verb is with it. They are happy. So we know that they is plural, so we have used are with it. And we also know that it is third person plural number with which we use are. So verb to be is decided based on the number and the person of the subject and the tense of the verb. So we have not said this book was inspirational because we are talking about the present. They are happy. We're not saying they were happy because we are talking again about the present tense. In this video, we will look at sentences which have to do with forced actions We will look at possessive sentences also. That is to come in a few minutes from now. Another example would be you are modest. Again, with you, which is uh, second person, we use are, and that's what we used here. And since it's the present that we are referring to, we have used are and not were. He is smart. I'm glad to see you. They all follow the same principle. We'll look at verb to be and how it's used when it's added with an infinitive. So sometimes in Hindi, at the end of the sentence, we have ne wala or neko. It suggests something is about to be done. For example, वह जागने को है, वे लोग जाने वाले हैं. Such sentences can be translated with the below formula. Subject plus verb to be plus infinitive. So essentially we are talking about something which is soon to happen. On a day-to-day basis, we face a lot of scenarios where we have to translate a sentence like this. So it's a very useful formula to remember. We know what infinitive is. We have an infinitive by adding a to a verb. So he is to wake up will be the translation of वह जागने को है. They are to go will be the translation of वे लोग जागने वाले हैं. Now sometimes ne wala may indicate a program. The method of translation will not change in such a case. For example, will वह कल बोलने वाला है. The translation will be he is to speak tomorrow. When you read newspapers or magazines, you'll find that a lot of times infinitive is used to refer to programs. The Prime Minister is to go to Sri Lanka next month. The singer is to host a concert tomorrow, and so on and so forth. So this is a widely used formula in contemporary literature. Okay, so let's now look at possessive sentences. So for sentences that show possession, the Hindi sentence has the following structure. You will find in Hindi we have ko, ki, followed by a noun or a pronoun, and with that we have a helping verb. So it can also have a ke or re pass, a noun, pronoun, followed by a helping verb. So it'll look something like this. उसको एक सवाल है, और उसके पास और मेरे पास एक सवाल है. To translate such sentences, follow the below formula. Subject plus has, have, had. So has, have, had, depending on which tense you're referring to, plus noun and pronoun. And following this formula, the above sentences can be translated as, so if you say usko ek sawal hai, you can say he has a question. If you say mere paas ek sawal hai, you can say I have a question. Again, in everyday English, you find a lot of opportunities to translate possessive sentences. So a very good formula to remember right there. Okay, let's now look at forced action sentences. There are many actions that we have to do out of force, so it's a good formula to remember. मुझे कॉलेज जाना है is an example of a forced action sentence in Hindi. Such sentences have the following structures and structure in Hindi: subject plus na plus verb. So the verb can be something like hai, pada, jana, hona, etc. In Hindi, we often find the objective case used for the subject in such sentences. For example, mujhe or mujhko. You can see above we have said mujhe college jana pada. We use usse, usko, tumhe, tumko, and these are all objective cases. However, when you are translating these, you should be turning them in the nominative case during the translation and use I, he, or you. Thereafter, the infinitive can be used, keeping in mind the tense of the sentence. So, the formula for translating such forced action sentences is the following: subject plus verb to be plus infinitive. For example, I have to go to college. Yeah, so it'll have subject plus have plus um, the infinitive. This is another way of interpreting this formula. If you are translating a sentence from the past, you can say, I had to meet him yesterday. He has to talk tomorrow. You will have to do this for him. So again, referring to the future, and when you say you will have to do this for him, it shows an emphasis in the amount of force you're laying on your words. Now, there are times when the forced action sentences appear in the passive form. For example, उसको ये बताना पड़ा or उसको गिरफ्तार करना पड़ा. In such sentences, use have to be plus past participle form of the verb, like this. He had to be told this, or he had to be arrested. A very useful formula to remember. When you read newspapers, you'll find that many sentences are translated in the passive voice. And even in everyday English, there are a lot of things which you will have to use the passive form for. So let's just remember this formula. Some more Hindi to English examples of forced action sentences. मुझे हॉस्टल में रहना पड़ा था, पड़ता है. I have to live in a hostel. उसे गोली मारनी पड़ी. He had to be shot. रवि को कड़ी मेहनत करनी पड़ी थी. Ravi had to work very hard. Here at this point, I want to give a bonus tip. So, with reference to possessive and forced action sentences, some people prefer using got to with has, have in such sentences. So, it's very fashionable to say something like, he has got a pen, or they've got to talk to her. But in order to give more clarity on this particular usage, I'd like to share a quote from the famed grammarian Fowler. He said, have got for possess or have is good colloquial, but not good literary English. In other words, what he is really saying is that if you say they have got to talk to her or he has got a pen, it is good to use such an expression when you are in a conversation with someone, but if you are writing an email, or if you're writing a letter, or if you're writing simply, it's better not to use such an expression. It's better to just stick to the has, have, had format which we've learned earlier and avoid the got at the end. So in formal English, use has, have, had, and in a more informal setting, you can use the have got principle. Okay, finally we have an exercise that you can perform, and the exercise is our matching A with B. So you can pause this video for just a few moments here and try to match A with B to refresh everything that you've learned in this video. Alright, so that's all folks for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to this video. It helps us to create more such content for you and give you more assistance in your spoken English journey. Until next time, bye-bye.